So what is OTT? OTT stands for over the top. And over-the-top technologies are this new generation of services that basically trashed the telecoms business model. So most of you, all of you are aware of the first and biggest OTT, and that was Skype. So what Skype did is Skype said, people want to do voice communications, and I am going to create an application that I call Skype, and it's going to be over the internet, over the top, and people will be able to make phone calls using my product and completely bypass the telecoms networks. And that's what an OTT does. The OTT says, you're making money for voice. I'm going to make a product so that the customers are just paying for data, and then they get to do the voice for free. Now, Skype was the first, but there are hundreds of OTTs now. Amazon is an OTT. There are Netflix, there are video OTTs. There are voice OTTs, video OTTs, texting OTTs, WhatsApp. So WhatsApp alone is costing telecoms billions of dollars a year in texting SMS revenues that are being lost. So as these OTTs come in, obviously two career opportunities. Opportunity number one, go work for an OTT. Go get a job for Google or go get a job for WhatsApp. That's an option not available to most of you. And the other thing is to understand that telecoms are going to have to build differently, and understanding how OTTs work is going to be the secret to that. So the OTT side is what's going to happen is, what the trend is that the OTT carriers are becoming like interconnect partners or roaming partners. We're going to start managing them in partnerships, and we're going to have a whole business model around making that work. So let's play out my little think piece here on OTT.
The OTT is creating a complete disruption to the MNO as we see them today. It is a $160 billion threat to the carriers, but it's on the same day creating huge revenue potential for carriers who are embracing the over-the-top player ideas and are partnering with them.
So is it a case of we've got these old, slow-moving, big global companies, telecoms companies, and we've got these nimble OTT upstarts coming in?
The question is, who are you partnering with? If you're a small carrier and you partner with an OTT, it could be a very valuable proposition for you against your incumbent in your country. So it's really who wakes up first on the MNO side to embrace that new and dynamic market and to have answers to the questions out there.
So it seems in a way that the telecoms companies have got to either adapt and change, or they're not going to survive.
There is a shift in the market coming up triggered by the OTT phenomenon on the worldwide basis. And yes, if you are too slow or if you're neglecting the threat, you will lose big revenue potential, whereas other companies in your market who are partnering with those over-the-top players will make a big win on that.
So I suppose for the telecoms companies to adapt and survive, they've really got to understand how the OTT market's developed.
It started with Skype a few years ago, going to mobile applications, creating the first over-the-top player, concentrating on the voice services, have some messaging. There are other players which are concentrating on messaging, like the WhatsApp guys, purely. There are combinations of it, like Viber, who are quite successful in the OTT market. But everything you see is in the OTT market is a very fragmented market itself. It is very dynamic, but there are lots of players emerging with different models. So the complexity of understanding such a fragmentation is the key to success. Our white paper shows that in the period between 2012 and 2016, the cumulated losses for messaging could be $41 billion US, whereas the voice cumulated losses are $140 billion. So this is quite substantial.
So what have the telecoms companies been doing to combat that loss of, a very sizable loss of revenue?
Different network operators had different strategies to tackle those issues. Some were blocking them, Some try to partner with them, and some try to bring in their own approaches in order to get to that market. So currently there is not one answer to it, but a set of answers, basically depending on what operator group you're in.
All right, so very interesting statistics. Overall, our industry, that is the carriers that we work with, are looking at a $200 billion loss in revenues due to the OTT. So the OTTs are basically attacking all of our revenue streams. And the question is, what are we as employees of these telecoms going to do about it? So our companies are coming up with strategies to work with OTTs. They're either partnering with them and turning them into partners like interconnect partners, or they're trying to block them, or they're trying to figure out how to turn it into their advantage by putting them into bundles. So all of these maneuvers, which are very necessary, are also very complicated, and they make big changes to how the billing systems work and how the assurance works. And while management will be flexible when they start, eventually that stuff needs to get solidified. So OTT is the number one biggest trend that's happening in our industry. That's going to shake things up. And if we're going to take care of our careers, we should be aware of how our company is going after OTT and what we can do to participate in the new generation of OTT products and services.